The views and opinions expressed by the guest author or speaker during this live session are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Reader's Magnet. The content shared is for informational purposes only and does not constitute endorsement or promotion of any particular belief, ideology, or product.
Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers. Welcome to another awesome day here at RM Hive, and you're tuning in to Reader's Magnet's featured author interview. I'm your host, Revan, and our featured author today brings together creativity, heart, and a deep love of nature in everything she creates. Born in South Florida in the 1950s and now living atop Lookout Mountain in the small town of Fort Payne, Alabama, she draws inspiration from the beauty around her and the life she shares with her family. She's a storyteller with an artist, a storyteller and an artist, someone who loves to write, paint, and capture the wonder of the world throughout both words and illustrations. And we are so excited to welcome her, a creative spirit whose passion for storytelling continues to grow. Author of Gun, Oil, and Teddy Bears, Bobbie J. McLaren. Hi, Bobbie.
Hey,
Thank you
Rev.
for joining us here today. How are you?
I'm wonderful, and thank you for having me. It's a thrill.
Yes, so for all our viewers out there, if you don't know yet, Bobbie J. McLaren here has been with us ever since the first Festival of Storytellers, and she was also with us during the Festival of
Yep.
Storytellers Chapter 7. So, Bobbie, how was your experience back then?
Oh, it was great. I mean, I've loved every single one, and I've noticed how
Mm-hmm.
each year it evolves just a little bit more. And the people that come in, some of them they're
Mm-hmm.
authors, and some of them are not. Some of them are people that want to be an author, and it's an incredible time of inspiration, not just for the
True.
people participating, but I myself get inspired. It gets a little costly because I find myself wanting to buy everybody's books. It's like, oh man,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be so good.
True. And back then, if one of our, if any of our viewers here were with us as well, just like Bobbie here. Last year she was actually one of the favorites, one of our favorites in the office because she was so open to the point that my manager was actually crying just
Oh,
watching that. Yes, and because the story is so open. Bobbie was so brave. She was so open about telling her story and her book as well. So her book is here. It's called Gun, Oil, and Teddy Bears: Surviving Shame, Fear, and Suicide to a Life of Freedom. So if you want to know more about it, go ahead and check this out on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So, Bobbie, I just want to ask you, what was your inspiration to write?
my beginning inspiration was my sister and my best friend
Mm-hmm.
telling me that if you don't write it down, that generations to come won't, but they won't know your story. And that's what inspired the first book. What inspired this one, though, is
Mm-hmm.
the world is, it seems to be spiraling out of control sometimes, and there
Mm-hmm.
are more suicides. In fact, teen
Mm-hmm.
suicide leads of all of them, between even beyond the veterans that are coming back to
Mm-hmm.
the different places. Teen suicide is at an all-time high, and people need to know that there's value in them, and they need to know that they're worth saving.
Mm-hmm.
God's got a plan for them, and if I can survive it, you know, then that's anybody can. And people need to have hope. Hope is
True.
essential.
Yes, people need hope. I really love that. So, I love that inspiration behind this book, and I still remember you telling the story about gun, oil, and teddy bears. What really struck me, and I cannot really forget this, and you said like they were there, the teddy bear was there, and it was the only one who saw you
Yeah.
experiencing all those very hard times, and I was like, yeah, that was really heartfelt, because you don't have anyone there, it's just the teddy bear.
Yeah.
And yeah, and here, and because this book, Gun, Oil, and Teddy Bear, is actually quite dark and quite different from what you've written. So with your first book being lighthearted and fun,
Yeah.
was it difficult to write about things dark and painful?
Uh, Very much so. I tried
Mm-hmm.
writing Gun, Oil, and Teddy Bears like 15 maybe years ago, even beyond
Mm-hmm.
that. I would make notes because I'm a jotter. I jot things down,
Mm-hmm.
and I would write things, and I would get so far, and there was a part of me, I was like, I just can't get past this. I just can't, you know, when you think about, all right, when I look at the kids around me, and
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with children off and on all my life with, within church, within different organizations and communities. But when you look out and you see a kid that's 8 years old, and all of a sudden that 8 year old is trying to kill themselves, what's going on? Well, to delve into why I was killing myself or trying to,
Mm-hmm.
um, it got into all the things that had happened prior to that time, and the fear I had that somebody was going to find my secret, the shame
Mm-hmm.
I had that knowing I was a broken individual at 8 years old. 8 years old. At 8 years old, you should be a kid. You should be out playing and
Yes.
having fun, not having to worry about that stuff. But I never told my parents what had happened when I was little, and I was scared to death that they'd find out and they wouldn't want me anymore. That I was damaged. I was just a nasty little kid,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's what took me to that point of writing. I mean, of trying to kill myself. But after my mother died, and I finally had finished the first book, which she got to hear every chapter of the first one, because I
Mm-hmm.
told her, I said, Mom, you were there. You had to tell me. I mean, did I really jump off the house with an umbrella? And she's like, oh, yes, you did. Yeah.
It did
You know,
with an umbrella.
with an umbrella, because I thought I could float,
Yeah, just like Mary Poppins.
Well, I thought it was like Bugs Bunny because he jumped off a cliff and he just floated.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. With like
So,
Bugs
but
Bunny too.
anyways, and she had passed, and my mother would have been devastated if I
Mm-hmm.
had written this book prior. So finally, one day I was sitting down and I was just jotting down notes, and all of a sudden it said, it's time. I just felt it. So I sat down
Mm-hmm.
and I started writing, and I wrote it in about a month or
Mm-hmm.
less, and
The
then
month.
just went through editing, and then I had a professional editor actually look at it,
Mm-hmm.
and the publisher I had, which unfortunately wasn't you guys. I don't know why I didn't
Mm-hmm.
stay with y'all, but
That's all right.
I went to a different publisher because they were supposed to be a really big publisher,
Mm-hmm.
a subsidiary of like one of the Thomas Nelson,
Mm-hmm.
Zondervan type stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
they said they couldn't publish my book because it had, number one, it had like curse words. I
Mm-hmm.
was mad at God, and I told him I was mad at him. But you know what? Honesty is necessary for healing.
True.
And if
True.
I can't be honest with God, I can't be honest with anybody. Come on.
Right.
He
Right.
knows what I'm thinking anyway. And then there was a few curse, and it was a little bit too graphic for them. So
Mm-hmm.
they sent me to one of their sister publishers, and I mean they did good, but I know now that sometimes dabbling in other waters is not always the best thing. I'm sticking with Reader's Magnet. So,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys did rebrand my first book
Mm-hmm.
for me, the Sounds at River's Edge, and you did an outstanding job because the what I had before, I mean, I wasn't really given a choice, which I didn't go with you guys, but
Mm-hmm.
this was years back, and that the cover of the book was okay, but what you guys did with my cover, to where it
Mm-hmm.
actually you can look at the cover and know, okay, this is a story of a father and his daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what it was about. Was me growing up and doing crazy things, well, such as jumping off the roof of the house with an
Mm-hmm.
umbrella. You know,
Yeah. That.
but it was a fun book. But this one, it came together, and it's published now. They
Mm-hmm.
actually, I designed the cover myself. I went, the
Nice.
teddy bear is mine. The other stuffed animals is my great nephew's.
Oh.
I told him, I said, can I come over to your playroom and take some pictures? And he goes,
Mm-hmm.
why? But I did. I submitted a bunch of pictures of the teddy bear in among all these other stuffed animals, and it wasn't lined up quite like that when I was leaving the teddy bear.
Uh-huh.
But it was. It speaks volumes. I mean, you've got a teddy bear with a gun aimed at it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how I tried to kill myself, and because
Mm-hmm.
I failed at it, thank God,
Mm-hmm.
but I did fail, and it made me feel even worse because I was even a failure at killing myself. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I cried for days when my parents weren't around because I thought I can't do anything right. I can't even kill
Mm-hmm.
myself. But with the suicide rate the way it is right now, I just it grieves my heart to think that there are people out there that are alone and that they
True.
feel that they're alone. In fact, I was almost going to leave. I was almost going to put the title of the book. What was it? Alone in a crowd, standing alone in a crowd, because
Mm-hmm.
I know everyone has been in a situation,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's in business, in community stuff. It could be at church.
Mm-hmm.
You could be at your
True.
church
True.
and just all of a sudden feel like you're surrounded by so many people, but you just don't feel like you fit in. And
True.
everybody needs to belong somewhere, even if it's no, if you're comfortable in your own skin. But I didn't like me
True.
at that time. I was very ashamed of who I was because of the incident that had happened. So, but I'm good now. I actually like me. I think I'm a pretty decent person. I know that sounds big
Mhm.
headed, but I
Yeah.
just, I think if you don't learn how to love yourself, and I'm not talking about narcissistic love because
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole different world. But if you
True.
can't like who you are, you don't really get along well with others.
True. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I also had these dark times in my life. And I just started to say that I am an amazing person because nobody told me I'm amazing. So I just did that. And
Yeah.
people now call me amazing, amazing Reverend. So,
I like that.
yes. And what I really love about what you told me in your story is that it could be really hard for you to actually share this dark time in your past through this book. But hey, you haven't noticed you actually have growth.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you have not, if you
Yes.
have noticed that, but doing the graphics for the cover,
Hmm.
first you actually hired people to do that, and now you're doing it.
Yeah.
So you are now evolving as this author who creates this book and a storyteller as well, from the
Yeah.
cover to the contents themselves. You're a really
Oh,
good
wow. I never even
storyteller,
thought about it
Bobby.
like that, Ravine, but that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I
Yeah,
just said
thanks.
it.
See,
Yeah,
you are amazing. Wow.
I am amazing. Thank you. so,
But
so
it is very important that we feel that because, and it's through
mhm,
adversity that we grow. The
mhm,
challenges that we face, if we don't grow through them, they'll eat us alive.
mhm, true. I agree.
So,
A- And also, who was your biggest inspiration?
my biggest inspiration, I think, would be my sister.
Mhm,
Because even though we didn't, if you, when you read the first book, you'll think we hate each other, but we're best friends now.
mhm,
But she never gave up on me. I mean, and she didn't know what was going on with my life,
mhm,
and but she never gave up. And when I told her, one day I finally realized who the man was that had sexually my, all right, your brain, god, it's amazing how that our brains can protect us from so
mhm,
much, because after the situation had happened, I could remember everything about the whole ordeal, the smells, the sounds, everything except
mhm,
the man's face, which is bizarre to me.
mhm.
But
True.
when years later, when all of a sudden it's like, wow, I saw the face, pieces of a puzzle begin to fall into place. And when I called her and told her, I
Mhm,
said, "Hey, I know who that was." And I told her, and she was like, "Oh my God." She goes, I never liked him. He always gave me the creeps,
mhm,
and but she was always there even when I didn't want her advice. She always
mhm.
gave me good advice,
That's nice
and
to
thank
know.
God I was able to be there for her when she went through some different things. So, but yeah, she's probably that, between that, and I would have to say my greatest inspiration, of course, is Jesus Christ Himself. But
Yeah.
I'm not Christ. I'm a mess, as my friends
Mhm.
call me. I'm a hot mess.
Hot mess.
I said, hey, I'm gonna go
At
with
least
I'm
you
hot.
hot.
Yeah, I said I'm gonna go with I'm hot. Forget the best part.
Yeah.
But that would be my greatest. She was there, and she still is. Thank God. And I told her she can't
Yeah.
die before me. We have to go
She's your
together.
angel.
I'm telling you, she's been a blessing in my life, and
All
she's
right.
very blunt. I mean, you never have to guess where you stand with her. Where me, I'll
Mhm.
smile through a lot of stuff, but I mean, I'm not going to cover what is they
Mhm.
call it, candy coated. But she's just in your face, like, no.
Mhm.
I like that.
Okay, so gun oil and teddy bears is actually like you know, a dark version of Bobby McLaren writing a book. So what is the most important message you would like your readers to come away with?
You have value.
Mm-hmm.
You
Love that.
have there's only one of you that God's ever made. They won't no one else will have the same talents, the same connections that you have. There's people that you can touch that no one else will see. There's
Mm-hmm.
heart that you can help and you can reach, and there are people that will care about you. The biggest thing is
True.
finding them. Find your crowd. And if you're around people that are what I call toxic, get
Mm-hmm.
out of those relationships. It's
True.
not worth it. You're worth a whole lot more than anyone would ever tell you, but I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
you, you have value. You are so beyond, and when you're gone, somebody's going to miss you. Heck, I feel like I miss you
True.
already and not even know you.
Yeah. I really love how you said it. You have value. It actually
You do.
touched me. So I hope all our reviewers out there, guys, you have value. So,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
So, Bobby, what's next?
Oh, what's next is finishing up this next book with a combination
Mm-hmm.
of stories again, new
Mm.
stories, but they're old stories, but they're from 8 years old till
Mm-hmm.
around 12 for me, and they're from 12 to 16 for my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And all the adventures we had, and in between I've actually put some of my poetry and a few of my
Mm-hmm.
sketches. So
Nice.
I'm hoping to get that done and get to JV. I've got my own deadline set, and I'm not going to tell him because he'll call me up, and of course he's so good. Every week, how are we doing, and I love that because you guys don't lose touch, and that's an
True.
important thing. Reader's Magnet has been a blessing, and I thank you guys.
And we also thank you for being one of our, top authors here, one of our
Oh,
very
sweet.
important authors in here.
Yeah.
So right now, Bobby, I'd like to give the spotlight to you. Tell us where we can find your books.
Okay. You can find my books at Barnes& and Noble, Amazon.com. You can go to my website, BobbieJMcLaren.com. Actually, you can go online. You can find used ones if you don't want to pay the regular price. You can get them buy them
Mm-hmm.
from somebody else because they've already paid for them, like on eBay and stuff like that even. So
Mm-hmm.
just any kind of search engine, you could pull it up on Google and it'll send you right
Hmm.
where you need to go.
Nice. So
Yes.
that's Bobbie J. McLaren, everybody. Get your copy of Gun, Oil, and Teddy Bears, Surviving Shame, Fear, and Suicide to a Life of Freedom. Available on Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, everywhere. Just check out Bobbie J. McLaren and her book, Gun, Oil, and Teddy Bears. And you can also check out all of her stuff at BobbieJMcLaren.com. So that's BobbieJMcLaren.com. BobbieJMcLaren.com. So, Bobby, it has been an awesome time with you. Thank you for joining us
Thank
here
you,
at
Grandma.
Readers Magnet.
Thank you.
And guys, let's open the pages and unravel the secrets of your personal odyssey. And I believe that your ink never runs dry. So go tell your story, you storyteller. This is your host, Revan, and as we say it here at Readers Magnet, we share your story with the world. Bye for now. Stay awesome.
Bye, Revan.